Hi, it's Sharon Tzib with Remax Universal and the lifestyle brand Houston Knows. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the 4 things you should do before buying a home. So the very first thing I recommend to my buyer clients that they should do is go ahead and sit down and make sure you're fully aware of your budget. You want to know exactly how much income you have coming into the household every month, and you want to know exactly how many expenses you have going out. And ideally, you should have a surplus. So that should be a positive number of what's left over. And if you're ready to buy a home, you've probably been saving for it. So in reality, you probably are making a surplus already because that's where you're getting your savings from. But if you're not, like if you came into the money somehow, someone gave you some money to buy a house, or you had an inheritance, or however, maybe you got a big tax bonus or a bonus at work or a tax refund, however you came into the money, then you definitely want to do a budget and make sure you have money left over every month, because you're going to need that when you're a homeowner. Being a homeowner is going to cost more than being a tenant. All those things that your landlord take care of will be on you now. And sometimes being a homeowner means unexpected expenses like an HVAC breaking or something like that. So just know your budget really well, and when you're going through the approval process with a lender, they're going to need to know that anyways. Now, the second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find a real estate agent like me. And the reason you want to do that is you want to have a conversation before you do anything else, and you want to understand what the entire home buying process is going to look like from start to finish. And a good real estate agent will have no problem talking to you about that. They want you to be aware of the process as much as you do. So it just makes the learning curve easier if that kind of initial consultation has taken place. So I always have some kind of intake call, or we can do it over the phone, Zoom, or face-to-face in my office, whatever is easier, but some kind of initial conversation where we go over the process and then we talk more about their needs and maybe some of the areas they want to live in, that kind of thing. After those 2 things, if you're feeling comfortable enough to move to the next step, then the next step is a must. You have to talk to a lender to get pre-approved. And a good real estate agent will have at least 2 or 3 lenders that they know, like, and trust that they can send you to so that you can get that pre-approval. Now, a lender is going to want to see numerous documents from you, so it's really important you're organized. You want to make sure you have all your paycheck stubs on, in soft copy online there, in the cloud, however you keep it. If you don't have it on your computer, you're going to want to scan it and get it into your computer, because everything these days is done securely, and so it's going to all be sent via a secure back office type of system. So just about anything, like your tax returns, those kinds of things, they're going to want to see bank statements, all those things. So make sure you have all that available, and then it'll make the application process with a lender go much easier. Once the lender has approved you, they're going to tell you a couple things. They're going to tell you how much down payment you need. They'll let you know what your closing costs are going to be. In my experience, those are usually around 3% of the purchase price. And then they're going to tell you what price range you're approved for. So just because a lender tells you you're approved for, say, $400,000, that doesn't mean you have to spend $400,000. They'll tell you what the payment is that's associated with the purchase price they've approved you for, and you can decide what price range you're comfortable with. So you can kind of back into it. Maybe you're more comfortable at $325,000, but at least you know your top end buying power. And after you get pre-approved, then it's the fun part. It's where you tell your real estate agent, okay, here's our criteria, here's what we want, so we can start looking at homes. And it's when you need to know what your must-haves are. This is the 4th thing, and it's really important. You need to know what your non-negotiables are. What must you have in the next home? That if your real estate agent shows you a home and it doesn't have it, it's a deal breaker. And why even bother looking at a home if it doesn't have one of your must-haves? So it saves everyone's time. So make sure you know your must-haves. You can also have a little side list of your would-like-to-haves, but you definitely need to know your must-haves. So I hope those 4 things that you will need to know when you want to buy a home are helpful. And before you leave, while you're here, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, just hit the little bell button, red bell button there, and that way you can be notified of future content. Thanks a lot, and this is Sharon Tzib with RE/MAX Universal in the Houston area.